you have a Kassadin, so you can't necessarily respond by just straight up diving bot lane. And we see here they did do a play early on top side with the Braum. That's what I like to look for, but it was defended by Solary. It might have been a bit too early by Vitality there, but if they were able to set up on top side and just map split, that would have been very beneficial to Vitality's composition. Solary, though, they didn't let that happen. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I only saw the result of it, right? And now we look at the runes here. Kassadin on the Conqueror. This is a very good scaling setup. He's going to lose lane early. The critical point we're worried about, though, is level 4, level 5. That's when he could die early. And so long as he avoids that point of death from level 6 onwards, he becomes a very difficult champion to lock down. There isn't really point-and-click CC on the side of Vitality. Right, Lee Sin, the jungler's comfort, despite what Cabochard may have made it look like, isn't actually a point-and-click champion. And Braum very much relies on you going in on bad opportunities, and Senna's is a skill shot as well. So they don't have many ways to lock him down once the Riftwalker comes into play. So level 4-5, the wave will be bouncing back. That will be an opportunity for Vitality to make a play on it. Before then, he should be relatively safe, albeit getting pushed in and losing priority.
I like to change up here from Joko in the jungle. Typically does the leashless into the red buff here at the top. Instead, we'll kind of opt in for the 3 clear into the bot lane. Now roaming up to the top side, could look for maybe something early onto Shigenda, who did have a monstrous performance yesterday on the Gwen. And here in the carry matchup with Keo, who's also been a pretty big part of the success here for Solary over the last couple of weeks. Very well could come into play, but Steelback might end up eating a concussive blow. That will be the case. Bit of damage back and forth here, so early trading going on in the bot lane.
That early trade has actually shoved the wave back in for Vitality earlier than expected. Interesting to see if Solary just let the wave bounce back now, and then they might have safety in 3 lanes. Or another way to think about it, multiple dive opportunities. Looks like they try to repush.
Steelback is in some trouble. Ignites down, has to flash away, but has a fourth shot. It's going to connect. No heal available. And a 2v2 kill comes in for the bot lane here for Solary.
Definitely a Braum lane can be very, very competitive, but Steelback, he's such a phenomenal player. He's able to win that 2v2. And now they're just going to get a free bounce back there. And Azza's going to be able to spend, getting caught a bit here.
Ooh. Will there be a follow-up? Yes, there will. Right back out, but Keo goes in. Ignite is down. Skeen's in trouble. Will flash away, and the tick is not enough to find the kill. So all the summoners basically blown here in the top side.
Both junglers drop a flash. If you want to think about in terms of who needs it more in the next fight, then the advantage goes to Lee Sin. But if you want to think about it more in terms of which jungler is getting ahead from all of this, it's definitely the Joko. He's done a full clear, whereas Lee Sin still has 2 camps to reset and a buff to clear. Those camps are still level 1, while the Joko is only 20 seconds away from a level 3 camp, on bot side. Looks like he's spending his time escorting. He knows he has the time advantage because he would have seen Lee Sin's CS when he contested him. So he has time to spend, and he's spending it ensuring that Keo gets a priority back. This would be a priority back for Solary's bot lane, a priority back for Solary's top lane, and the lead in Solary's jungle. And Kassadin has gotten through the first part of the hard phase of his game very, very cleanly. The game looks very good for Solary right now, with the 2v2 kill on bot lane and with the jungle play from the Joko.
Certainly the case. Back to the bot side. No real summoners that you can punish here right now for the side of Vitality. It only used the Ignite, so Jacktrol still has access to the flash. Okay, something breaks out again. On the other hand, though, no heal here for Azza, no flash for Steelback. So it could be a potential play if anyone does end up misstepping. Take a look at Scarlet. We said, listen, he's going to have to try to survive here through level 4, level 5. That's when Skeens could potentially look for a gank, but he's now just pulling off his reset. So Joko basically has all the tempo in his favor, and it looks like he might make a move for this Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of accepted that he doesn't need to maintain a lead against Lee Sin. He'd rather just transfer this into this Drake, which will be very beneficial for the side lane advantages of Solary later on. He could just be clearing all of these camps. He'd be a full clear ahead of Lee Sin if he did. But no, he's like, I'm going to spend this stay relatively even with Lee Sin. Doesn't matter that he might have an advantage in some fights later. I'm going to get this. My team scales better. And now I can go straight into my 4-5 camps. Jacktrol being very aggressive here, but I'm not sure. Skeens lands it.
A little bit of trouble, but does not have to expend the flash. Skeens now on the other side of it. Will not get engaged on there with the wind comes lightning. But
This
it
is
might
good.
just be a Gromp, might be some camps going over here. Dejoko just gonna have to kind of concede this, as his bot lane is also looking for a reset.
Yep, and now Schemes is all caught up with this invade. These are the level 4 camps that were respawning when Schemes was doing his topside level 1s, and these bot side camps are now going over to Schemes because of the decision to do Scuss on to do Drake by Dejoko. They're now pretty much even with an advantage towards Schemes in terms of XP and gold.
Scarlet starting to feel a little bit of the poke, but is only down 4 CS and still hanging on to that teleport where Diplex actually did already invest it earlier on in the laning phase, so should be able to TP back and catch this wave as it gets shoved in. Meanwhile, topside, this is going to basically be Dejoko coming up here, clearing his camps. He got bullied out of his blue jungle. This should be good information for the side of Vitality, knowing that he has to basically respond to top, but here in the bot side, could be a play on Azza, almost has the heal coming back up. Steelback still does not have access to the flash, but they don't want to force anything. Doesn't look like they have the package, so we'll just now back away.
Yeah, this is transitioning to another blue buff invade, and that's kind of good, but honestly, whereas Vitality made this effort to get Schemes back on an even state with Xin Zhao, ultimately Scarlet's been the victor there, just by nothing happening around him whatsoever. Diplex was never going to get him into lethal range on his own. It would have to be a team effort, but the team effort so far has gone towards saving Schemes jungle rather than trying to put this Kassadin back, and that's going to pay off for Solary later on in the game. Keo here kind of has to fight Sigender. Gwen definitely the better champion at this point. So Dejoko here escorting him there. Gwen has to be conscious that Schemes' bot side can't just run Camille down the entire lane. But both have Ignite up, and Gwen can be confident here. He's just going to maintain the freeze, kind of like Ragnar did versus Bad Lulu earlier on today as well. Looks like Vitality are also going to be conscious of their jungler being topside. They don't want to stay in this lane too long while Schemes starts making his way on this clear up there.
Jacktroll is not able to reset here with his 80 carry, so we'll have to back up. Just have a little bit of a recall. We'll see if they stop it again here. But now Diplex, access to the package. Schemes with the double buffs here on the map as well. We'll see if they make any kind of a play out of it. Rift Herald is up, and there's a lot of pings now coming into that top side.
Okay, this looks a lot better for Keo than it did before. This wave will gradually slow push into him. The downside is he has to wait a little bit longer for that to happen, but he's still being zoned out. Sigender understands when the matchup is advantageous to him, understands when his limits are in this lane, and he's kind of giving Keo a masterclass on how to play with that. The slow push begins at the same time as they're looking to do a play onto this Herald. This does give Camille first roam, but this means that Gwen can simply reset the map and be there longer.
A lot of trouble. Package comes in, barely hanging on by a thread, but flashes away from the Sonic Wave. So can't finish off the kill. Rift Herald is going to reset. More members here for the side of Solary, but they doesn't look like they're interested in trying to contest the rest of this. Getting the flash here out of Dejoko might mean that the Rift Herald going over to Vitality, but we'll see here. Keo still hovering around, but now going back to lane.
Kassadin first.
Kassadin
can roam first here.
They are going, and now they're going to bully Schemes out of the jungle. Has to get himself away. Wardhop is good, but now he's low. Scarlet in the back, and Jacktroll caught at a position. Support is down, and now the long extended fight means the Rift Herald's going over to Solary.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a contest, it may have been better to try to unlock the Gwen, let the Gwen push, and then move in with her, because Kassadin was the one that was able to get the push in the midsection, with Steelback hovering over him, with Dejoko hovering over him. They both retreated to that side, but Schemes stayed, kept trying to go for the Herald, and this time wasn't really it, and on the way to his escape, Jacktroll figured this might be a good time to do a contest, and obviously it wasn't, and now Gwen got an advantage from that, but that's basically it. Everything else went exactly as Solary would have liked. They got more of an advantage on the Kassadin. They got the Herald here, which is a luxury item for them. They're not the ones that are in a rush to scale the game through. But they ultimately end up getting it. Just a little bit too greedy on the contest there for multiple members of Vitality. Solary the victors, and this Kassadin, it keeps scaling, it keeps scaling. Don't let a 5 CS lead on Corky fool you. This Kassadin is definitely a worrying problem right now, if you're a Vitality fan.
Dragon now coming up in 5 seconds. Could be the second one on the table. Scarlet gets the mid lane push, and now gets to move first, and already the jungler support, Steelback in. Dejoko one of the best duos here in the LFL, in a position to be able to secure a Mountain Dragon. These are a couple of nice dragons to get early here. The Infernal was already picked up, and it looks like now they should be able to lock in the Mountain here too.
Yep, I mean, this is pretty uncontested. Steelback's actually there with his Hex Flash on the side, just in case something happens. If they were to commit, Jack George tried to do it again, then Steelback would simply Hex Flash on top of him and get in a flank position there. It's going to be a Hex Tech Drake and Solary with the additional shielding of the, the additional resistances of the Mountain, I should say. The additional damage of the Infernal could look to try to make it soul point in 5 minutes' time. Sigender on another freeze against Keo. Keo getting almost no assists there, and Sigender continuing his lead. He knows when he's strong. But Keo is, he's edging further and further to the Divine Sunderer, though. Oh, Lee here as well, threatening Keo on this wave.
Looks like the
Diplex should be able to retreat.
Ooh, Scarlet's getting pretty low, and Diplex will force him out of lane. So a back's going to come through. Joko just going to hang around mid here for a very quick second, make sure his mid laner gets the back off. Jack Troll a little late there on the Winter's Bite, won't be able to stop the recall, and you can definitely see it right now. Skeens wants to make something happen in the top side. He's had this Dragon Rage for a good amount of time, but Keo, he's playing safe. He realizes, all right, there's not a lot I can do at the moment here. I'm just going to wait for this wave to shove into me, farm, and stay alive.
Yes, again, there's broken the freeze here, but Steelback and Zinzao, they have noticed that. They are moving towards their nose that Sigender is now in the reverse position. It looked like he wanted to unlock himself from the lane, but he may have ended up giving Keo a freeze, and Keo might try to do to Sigender what Sigender did to him. Well, this isn't enough minions to do that, actually, so this is just going to slow push back into Sigender. Sigender can choose. He's chosen to go in because he has Skeens here along with him.
Ultimate does come through there for Shigenda. You know, work not going to be in play, but he breaks the freeze, gets it pushed in, and now Keo just going to be able to farm under tower here. Joko off the map. Will be getting a little low here on this Rift Herald, so we'll see if he decides to come back out with Steelback and try to prioritize one of these lanes to see if they can actually collapse on the tower and try to take advantage of the plates that are still going to be active here for the next minute.
Cannon wave on mid. Kassadin might lose 1 or 2 minions on here. Yes, 2 minions are lost, but he got the blue buff from it, right? And that's what he spent his time doing during this cannon wave. With that, we'll see how competitive he can be. Looks like the blue buffer got him down a third of HP, though. Beforehand, seemed to have slightly misjudged Corky's ability to contest him, but now he has everyone there. He goes for the trade.
Scarlet sets it to play. Joko won't go in, but they do get the ultimate out of Senna. So Dawning Shadow not going to be in play. This is also going to be enough pressure to drop the plates, but it looks like it will only end up going over to Joko here for the plate money.
Yeah. Definitely not the result that they were looking for, and you could already see there the threat of the Senna ultimate is a worry for Kassadin. We'll see how that goes with Senna scaling later on. Not much action in bot lane after the very, very early 2v2. It's mostly just being map plays by Steelback and Jack Troll with varying degrees of success, mostly weighted in favor of Steelback. Kassadin, though, he will only get stronger. Maybe things look a little bit more even than he would have liked at this point, but he knows there's a point in the future where it completely turns in his favor. So he's still chilling there. Would have been a nice luxury if he was to get the gold from the tower, if they were to get the tower, to get the kill on Corky, but it's ultimately not necessary for them. It's necessary for Vitality to turn the tables on Kassadin, but it's not necessary for Kassadin to do anything but go even now.
Minute and a half now on that third dragon that we keep talking up here. For Solary, a chance to be able to come out with Dragon Soul very early on in this game with the scaling that they already have. It would certainly hurt Vitality. I have to imagine they'll be putting some kind of priority into contesting it. Blue buff going to be exchanged. It will be handed over to Diplex so that he can keep up the mid lane shove and see if he might be able to get some kind of priority or at least go and neutralize the lane. A Scarlet getting closer to that level 11, might get it here off the wave. At the very least, will be very close to it. That's when he's going to start to hit his spikes, and there it is. Level 11 is now in, becoming more of a threat. Jungler now going to take the Hextech portal and comes and says hello, makes his way into the jungle, but Scarlet will end up finding Skeens here. It does get chunked out. Oh, we're not done. Here's the curtain call. No. Jack Troll trying to tank it up here with the shield. Into the back, and Jack Troll will be taken down. Azza collects the kill. Jessica, nice flash, nice cleanse, but in the top lane, solo kill for Shigenda. And that will even things out. A 1-for-1 overall, and we're still 20 seconds away from the third dragon.
Yeah, this is Gwen favored definitely early on, and Sigenda's been running away with it. Oh,
Joko in some trouble, but is definitely dealing some damage back here, but does get chunked, goes and grabs the remaining honey fruit, and now looks like that will be the very first
my
tower
lord.
in the pocket of Shigenda.
Yep, so this is the best result Vitality could ask for when it comes to their top lane matchup, but honestly, 15 minutes in, and that was the first time I saw a proactive play made against Skarlet. It sounds weird to say at this stage, but honestly, as a spectator, I'd somewhat feel like the game's almost over once Jack Troll gets caught there, because this Catherine, it's already level 11. This is already a threat. For me, it's going to come down to how it looks like when he's paired against Gwen, if he needs a little bit more time before he can match it. But for all Gwen's advantages, that just means that for Solary, the setup would be Kassadin towards him. It's all on Sigenda, though, for Vitality. That's their comeback play. It might feel like it's even. The gold might even tell you that it is a bit even. But honestly, all the dragons, until this one, were on the side of Solary. All of the advantages on the side of Solary, and the damage scales much harder for them.
And let's take another look here. So it was the stop of the teleport that ends up being Kyo's demise as the needlework comes in and will slowly chase him down for the solo kill.
Yeah, that was quite good by him, though. Sigenda could have maybe tried to turn that fight that was already going very heavily in Solary's favor. With that, he at least ensured that Solary would be able to continue to push Vitality at the jungle, but Vitality, they were the ones that were able to find the window to get that Hextech Drake. Gwen's going to very much love that Hextech Drake. So too is Diplex. Someone to a lesser extent, but he will love it too. Oh, dive attempt possible. Kills get on this Kassadin, and...
nice setup. Deadly Flourish. It's going to hit, but Skarlet, he's eating a lot of damage. His teammates aren't with him. So from afar, Azza takes the shots with the curtain call. And now Joko also here. Could they look for Jack Troll? They'll try. But he's able to jump to Jeskla. They're going to be able to get out here. And Skarlet just going a little too deep.
We do a little bit of trolling sometimes. Kassadin is still a late game insurance policy there. Would have been really nice to pick up 2 kills. Ultimately doesn't go his way. He's not one-shotting people yet. Just from that stage, if the game doesn't hard accelerate in Vitality's favor, he is almost definitely going to be unbeatable at a point in the game. Maybe a bit of an extension too far. Solary still get the favored resets on bot side. Gwen is uncontested top, but that would have been the same no matter which map setup they decided to do. So ultimately, I'm glad that they tried the dive. Execution a little bit off, but think the intent was still good on the side of Solary.
Up in gold here, still going to be Vitality.Bee. 2K here in their favor. Still having one of those dragons and really stopping the soul point from coming into play here for the next 3 minutes when we get our second Hextech Drake. It's going to be one of the key parts of this game. But in the end, another tower does end up dropping. And now we'll get ourselves into a situation where lane assignments are starting to go to the side lanes here, and we'll see if Skarlet can kind of go up against Shigenda, who is very far ahead of Kyo. As you take a look at some of those gold charts right now, he is very far ahead and is now level 13 here as well.
Yeah, not to be biased in any way here, but Sigenda's absolutely bodied Kyo over the course of the game. You could see the advantage that it turned into. They're 2,700 gold. There are items in the game towards that advantage that he could just grab at any point. He's almost on 2 items here, with Kyo only just finishing Divine Sunderbay. He played this laning phase very well. It was an island. He knew the advantages he had early, and he knew how to pressure it. There's a lot that a player like Kyo can learn from playing against such an experienced player like Sigenda, but can Sigenda carry that through into a win before Skarlet becomes a complete monster, where even plays like the one Skarlet did on bot lane just a minute ago are successful plays for this Kassadin?
Well, coming up will be a bit of assistance on the tower. Skarlet going to start to hammer away at it. Could be another tier 1 on the board, but the wave isn't too big as well. But steal back now also coming up here. So will Diplex understand and realize that there's multiple players here? He has Jack Troll nearby, and now they're going to spot out each other. Hex Flash over the wall. Steelback gets out to safety, and Diplex gets to come and farm the wave and make sure that the tower does not fall as of just yet.
Yep, and they were ahead on the map as well, so it was a good decision by Vitality to group around this rather than just try to group around Gwen. Were you to just theoretically leave both side laners going alone, Kyo would actually be... not Kyo. Solary would be ending the game with Scarlet.
Oh,
long
flash
before Kia does.
engaged, and that's going to be an immediate stopwatch here from Div1
Oh!
going in deep as Steelback. And that's a nice play from Skeens as the kick comes in. Steelback is down, and Div1 more or less baits the play.
And we talked about this beforehand. Skeen's not necessarily one of these early game aggressive parving junglers, but that Lee Sin, he's very effective on it in later on skirmishes, in later on team fights. And right there, he found another window. Don't let Kawashar's performance earlier overshadow that. That was a very effective play from him. Turns into a win for them, turns into a mid tower for them. They might even be able to escort this Herald onto tier 2, so they didn't really need it for that tier 1.
Kyo does go in, sets up the play here, but there's a lot of damage coming through for Shugenda. He's going to be able to find the kill, but can he get a second? Scarlet in some trouble. Shugenda, the 1v2, the outplay, and now Diplex gets to go all in, but he can't find the kill. Now turning back, the tower is hitting him, getting him low, and Skeens has been able to finish off the mid laner here for Solary. They've lost 2. They're under tower. They're without help, but in the back, Azza comes in looking for the snipes. Good flash. The dive continues. Shugenda is burning up, but he's not going down, and Skeens finds another as Vitality rip apart Solary here in the bot lane.
Death is not a part of the Sigenda agenda today. They put all their eggs, or Sigenda honestly picked up all of the eggs and threw them in his basket and said, trust me. And with a 2-item advantage, 1v2s both of the side lane carries that Solary were going to contest the game with. And now he has an almost insurmountable lead where definitely, we don't care if Kassadin should be able to do something to me later. There's no point in the game until it's over where they're going to do anything. We see that 1v2 here right now. These are both of the carries that they were going to be cycling against Vitality's side lane sets, and both together aren't enough to do anything to Sigenda on this lead, and his lead has only increased with this. Now there's a very, very big chance for Vitality to just end the game before this Kassadin can do anything, before this Camille can get back in off of the Kassadin pressure. I think there's also actually a team fight happening. There
sure is. Steelback, he's on the wrong side of the map.
No.
He's going down. Concussive blows are coming out. Gwen is on fire. It's a triple here for Shugenda, and that will certainly lead to the Baron Nashor for Vitality.
Beginning to wonder if it is, Vizichachi or Sigenda, or if Gwen is just a ridiculously disgusting champion. But honestly, in this game, it's indisputable that Sigenda got all these advantages himself. Sure, the matchup is advantageous early, but he played that all perfectly. He got his own leads, different to Vizichachi yesterday, where the team played around him and put their eggs in the basket again. He kind of just grabbed them all, threw them in himself. He's like, guys, don't worry, I got this. And boy, does he. Okay, we see it starts miss on the engages, but Sigenda doesn't care so long as he just can just keep moving forward. Braum able to land the stun that Sigenda procs, and he's just eating through them. He's just unkillable, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, it's just, what do you do? What do you do?
He's healing more than they're doing, and
my lord.
It's such a combo, actually, with the concussive blow, and we're going to go again here. Here comes the curtain call. That is going to be a pick here on to Joko, and well, they're going to be able to find yet another
Scarlet.
pick. 30 seconds without the jungler, 4v5. And yeah, he's got to run for his life.
Run! The whole time that's happening, Gwen is soloing Scarlet on the side. Pretty sure Scarlet healed him, if anything. He's level 16, not the Kassadin, the Gwen. When Scarlet is level 13, Kyo is level 13. They're both 3 levels behind this Gwen. Triple rank ultimate now available on the Gwen. Look at this item lead as well. Kyo not even on 2 items yet, basically on 1.5. He's on double that.
Kyo, he's not in a good spot, but could he make the best of it here? He's not even going to get a chance to ult. He's going to go down. Jeskla claims the kill. Steelback gets kicked back, but they do manage to at least get 2 here onto Jeskla. It's a double. Might just be a triple. It sure is. Jeskla with the triple. Baron still active, and Vitality, they are running into the base.
Yeah, Vitality over Hextech, they have diffused the bomb that was gathering strength from the side of Solary. They're now playing 2 lanes to end at 25 minutes into the game. With these inhibitors broken, they're easily going to be able to transition this into a game-winning match setup.
They gave over the Corki, they gave over the Gwen. They thought they had the answer, but right now they are just losing the base. And they are so far down in gold now, as it might just be the third inhibitor tower broken open. Solary feel like you might have to do something, and now they're going to make the call. They're going to go for Shigenda, but he buys time with the stopwatch. That will be the Glacier Fisher coming out. We'll be able to zone them away, but going in will be Seal back. The Dawning Shadow giving the shield, keeping them alive. Scarlet gets one, but it's traded right back from Skis. Now from the side, it's Vitality going ham, finding the team fight win, getting the victory, and now they can run to the minions and break open the towers and the Nexus.
Yeah, if the audience doesn't vote Sugenda for MVP, they're trolling. If you can outdraft them, you can try to say that we'll match you on sides. We've baited you into picks we won. We've got some comfort on ourselves. Maybe you have the better picks, maybe you have the better plan. But honestly, does anyone have